Pretty privilege is dangerous. It costs you your time and your authenticity. So why do we gay men do it? So I think that we do it because we are focused on, one, trying to attract a certain kind of guy that we think we should have. Two, to gain the approval, and validation of our peers. And three, because it seems like everyone else is doing it. So one, to attract a certain kind of guy that we think we should have. So first off, let's just start off by saying there's a certain type of guy that we think we should have, or there's a certain type of guy that if you do have it, you seem to look better. Almost like the trophy husband, the trophy partner, the trophy boyfriend, the power couple, the attractive couple that everybody aspires to be. So you would want to find someone that looks that fits that mold. And to me, from my experience, that definitely is someone that is tall, has muscles, beautiful smile, clear skin, good hair, all things like that is just like the epitome of what we all want to, should strive to look like as gay men. So finding someone that looks like that, especially if they have a great, huge social media following and presence and gets lots of likes and shower of love and attention, that is the type of person you want to get. Because yeah, I mean, you're gonna be at the top of the pyramid if you get that person. Two, to gain the attention, approval, and validation of our peers, I think that being unattractive, especially in the gay community, you get kind of shunned. You don't get any attention. I mean, even if you go to a bar, I see how, just for example, the ones that are more fit, guys that are more fit, get way more attention and way more free things, and people probably buy their drinks and things like that, versus the heavier set, not as attractive, doesn't take care of their looks, their skin, their hair. No one barely even sees them. It's almost as if they're just a shadow in a club that no one's like paying attention to. It's almost like, why are you even here? That approval is important, and that's almost what we get when people do pay us attention is, oh my God, they see me. I remember that was kind of my experience when I first started going out to the clubs, was like, they saw me and that felt good. It was like, they didn't treat me like an outsider. They treated me as if I was one of them, and that came with me looking a certain type of way. Validation, and those two things in combination almost make you feel like you have validation, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, which is why this is so dangerous. Well, in my opinion, it's dangerous. From my experience, it's dangerous for me. I still struggle with it. As of right now, I came on camera, no like fresh haircut, I didn't do my lineup, I didn't do my eyebrows, I didn't do anything, and this is very like different for me. I normally am completely done up, but it's just because I was craving that attention and approval and that validation. I wanted people to give me that attention, people to give me that approval, and then I would feel like I have value, like I'm worth something, like I'm hot shit or something like that, just because I am seen and people like me and they want to talk to me. But I noticed that it was in tandem with the way that I looked. I had to look a certain way, fit a certain mode, and then people would come to me, people would engage with me, people would want to befriend me. And the last one is because it seems like that's what everyone else is doing. And I hate to say it, but it's like that saying, monkey see, monkey do. We're in a community of gay folks that, better times are way better now, but like for a long period of time, like this is like the only place, and for some of us, that's the only place that we feel like we can be safe. So like I'll use myself as an example, being a black man, a gay man, and then a man that also shows a lot of his feminine characteristics at times. There are spaces that I go to and I like almost immediately am judged and am kind of nervous and uncomfortable that someone's going to throw out slurs or might get aggressive or mad that I'm just there, because I kind of like, I don't know, am not liked by certain groups of folks. Some people do not like black people today in 2022. Why? I don't know. That's another video. Don't like gay men still. Don't like feminine gay men. And sometimes we get this hate from our own community. So to me, what it all boils down to is we are doing all this because we want to be better. We want to be the best. We want to be at the top of the pedestal, at our top of the pyramid. Not pedestal. Be at the top of the pyramid in our community, and in order to be at the top of the pyramid, you have to fight for that. And the person that gets the most attention, the most likes, the most follows, has a TV show and things like that, in our eyes, they get all the attention. Otherwise they wouldn't be on TV, they wouldn't get all these likes. So they must be at the top of the pyramid. And then that also boils down to, we just believe life is a competition, and we're always competing to be on top. But the truth of the matter is, beauty fades. So that pretty privilege that you have is not going to last forever. And if it does last forever, you are going to have to work for it. And unfortunately, because we live in a society where we are conditioned to aspire and attain to always looking young and beautiful, it's almost like conditioned inside of some of us. And this is what boils down to, I think, the cost of pretty privileges. From my experience and just kind of like reading and looking at other folks and listening, it takes time, a lot of our precious time. We only have this one life and we spend so much time looking in the mirror, and it also takes us away from our authenticity. So time starts off with just the older we get, the more time it takes to maintain this look. I can use myself as an example. I'm turning 27 soon, and as a 27-year-old, I had to do so much more upkeep than I did when I was a 21, 22-year-old. For example, I used to get my hair cut once a week, and I pay $40 a week. I mean, $40 every time I get my hair cut. So that's a bill that got racked up very quickly. And I mean, just setting up the appointments, going to the appointments. If my barber wasn't going to be out of town, it was almost like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then at home, just makeup and fixing this and filling that in. I never did like a full face, but it was always like, okay, let's fill in these eyebrows, let's fill in this hairline, let's spray that in, let's line that up again and put a little makeup around that to make it highlight more, and then let's clean this up. And it was just this constant upkeep, and the older I got, the more intense it got, mainly because I'm losing my hair. I mean, like right here, you can almost see it's thinning. This hair doesn't grow as fast. This hair doesn't grow as fast. And also, take this another level, which some of you may not know this, but in the Black community or in our history, my hair is considered bad, like bad hair. We have bad hair and good hair. I don't have good hair like my light-skinned brothers. I have bad hair. So even just having my hair this length has taken me like, well, not this length, but like just growing my hair out has always been a battle for me because it's not super loose and wavy like my other peers might be. It's kind of, well, it is tight, kinky, and what they call nappy. So it's like, well, why are you growing your hair out? I used to always keep it low, tapered, and then do-rag every night so I can get waves. That was it. That was the recipe. That was the pretty I had to conform to, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. It was too much work. It was expensive. It was exhausting, and I like my hair. Like, I like my hair. And that leads me to my next point. You are constantly trying to change and adapt, or having to change and adapt to what the latest trend is, what the latest look is, how people perceive beauty in a sense. So as soon as anything changes, you have to like shift what your look is into that look to fit whatever mode of beauty is going on in the community at that time. I mean, for the longest time, I feel like it's been like muscles and things like that from my perspective. So it's like, it's always been like that, but it's like different things change. Hairstyles, hair lengths, what people do like, what they don't like. And even in your own community, like here I stay in a predominantly, well, the gay community is predominantly white. So just being Black in general is already kind of like a tick down. You don't get as much attention, approval, and validation from others, which you shouldn't be trying to get anyways, as you would if you were white living over here. So yeah, you're constantly having to shift, and that takes time, that takes studying, that takes focusing, that takes listening, that takes curating, that takes going to the mall, buying clothes, this, that, and like it takes time. In addition to taking time, it really messes with your authenticity because you are throwing out everything that you like. Like I was just saying, I actually like my hair. You know, a lot of other folks don't like it or do not like the style, which I've had said to me. I've had that said to me by friends, by random people that didn't know me, I mean, everybody just has a preference for how I look. And sometimes I would feel like, oh, you know, like I messed up. Let me get my hair cutting and I need to do this. I need to look that way. I need to da-da-da-da. Or like you pick up on nuances where when you look this way or wear this outfit, you get way more compliments, aka attention, aka approval, aka validation. But when you don't get any attention. People almost don't even notice you. So it's like, I should wear this out more instead of this. And that's where it kind of comes to like, what if I don't like what everybody else likes? What if I like my hair to be grown out a little bit and I don't care if it shows my thinning spots? It's just, I want my hair to grow my hair naturally how it is. But other people don't like that. So if I'm constantly trying to keep my pretty privilege and keep that pretty privilege card, then I have to conform to that. I can't do what I like. I can't be who I am. And that leads me to my next point, which is you're not accepting your natural appearance. And for me, what I've noticed is even though sometimes I still do it, which it's a battle. Just being in the mirror that long, putting on makeup, lining myself up, filling in the spots, it just is almost like I'm telling myself in the mirror, you're not good enough. I'm adding all this on. I'm spraying all this on. I'm filling all this in because who I am naturally is not good enough. And like that to me was like the toughest part, is that was what I kept feeling every time I would get in the mirror. It was like, why do I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm beautiful as I am. I don't care anymore. Like, I just kind of got to a point, I'm just tired. Like, I was talking to one of my friends, very beautiful girl, and I just was like, don't you get tired sometimes? Like, I took like a month off recently, and I just didn't get a haircut. Just 'cause I was tired. I was tired, and I was broke also. Like, I was tired. And I didn't want to spend, what is that, 40 times 4, $160 a month. Like, let's just put this out there. My car note is like $250. If I added that, that's like half of my car note almost. If I added that to my car, I could pay that off so much quicker. But no, I have to keep this look up. So for me, what I've been noticing is, because I don't want this to like just be like a gloomy video. I like to always add like what I have learned and what I'm doing and what I'm working on. And of course, talk to me in the comments like you guys always do, which I appreciate that so much. I love conversating with you all, and I actually got the idea for this video from one of the comments that somebody left me. Choose the path of least resistance. And least resistance looks like I accept myself as I am, and that life is okay as it is. And this process of self-acceptance has just helped me to just look how I want to look. Buy the clothes that I want to buy. I got this from the thrift store. I love thrifting because they are unique, old school, vintage feeling, like nobody else has it type of items. But they don't necessarily give me the most compliments. I would normally have to spend like $150 on an outfit from ASOS, not including the shoes, to like see, and you see that thought right there, just the fact that I know what I would have to do, what I would have to buy, how I would need to look to go out and get a lot of compliments, that to me wears at you at a certain point. So when you toss that out and just accept yourself and life as it is, it's almost like I can look how I want to look. And my next point is you can be authentic to who you are. Just be you. Just be you. And it's almost like some of us don't even know what that looks like anymore. Some of us don't even know what that is anymore because we've been doing what everybody else has been telling us to do. We've been on this like hamster wheel of being on autopilot of you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's almost like we're just running away from this, like, we're running away from ourselves. And I haven't gotten to this point yet because I have still been battling with just letting all the things go and just accepting myself fully. Like, this is a process for me too. But I feel like you will start to attract the right people in your life. You won't attract friends that are just your friends because you're pretty. I had a lot of my friends that only wanted to be friends with me just because I look good in their photos with them. And you could almost sense it because it was like once we weren't taking photos, when we weren't going to events, when we weren't showing up to places looking good together and stopping the crowd and everybody staring at us, what do we have to talk about? What do we have in common? How do we actually relate? And yeah, it just, for me, it got to me at a certain point. Well, it has gotten to me. My next point is, My next point is it increases your self-love. I mean, just letting yourself be naturally. Now, I think I'm like now learning the balance between I do want to keep a professional look because I do work in an office where I do have to keep a certain professional look, so I can't just like roll out of the bed. But I mean, what does that look like for a black African American male that doesn't cut their hair super short? What does a professional clean look like? That's a whole nother video right there. But your self-love, just for me, I just love every single hair, every single curly hair that's growing out of my head, whether it isn't enough, or if it's too much, or if it's too kinky, or if it's too curly, or if it doesn't look like anything, or if it isn't lined up or shaped up perfectly. I just want to love it. And something about doing that just hits here. It sinks deeper when it's like, I love this outside form. I love the inside form that much more, because then you're almost focusing more on who you are as a person versus how you look. And that all in tandem just turns into just that self-approval. You just approve of yourself. You're no longer dependent on other people in the outside world to make you feel good about yourself. And I mean, to me, that is why pretty privilege is so dangerous. It just costs you so much time. It gets so exhausting after a while, but it costs you so much time and your authenticity. And you have this one life to live, and those are two things that you shouldn't have to sacrifice. And those are two things that I think create a more just unique life, exciting life. A life that's worth living is a life that you choose how you spend your time, and you choose who you want to be. And I just wonder, especially if you're watching this video, if you're tired and you've been living for other folks because of the privileges that it gives you. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. You get a lot of privileges by conforming to what other people want you to look like. But what about what you want to look like? What about what you want? What about yourself? If you don't live this life for you, who is going to live it? And on that note, remember to be the change you wish to see.